I am very excited to be here today, co-hosting the second run of a really incredible mentorship and successful program that we ran last year called Mob of Mentors. Maybe you've heard of it. But before we kick off, a massive thank you to our sponsors. You can see them on the screen there. So Tales of the Cocktail Foundation, of course. Academia Patrón, which is the trade-facing ecosystem and education programs at Tequila Patrón, and Free Pour, the digital education ecosystem for Bacardi. And at the end of this presentation, you'll have a handy QR code that you can download all of the information. Well done. I'm like, where are those applause at? This year, I have the great honor to be on stage. The reason why we even started this was to celebrate the International and the US Bar Mentors of the Year for the Tales of the Cocktail Spirited Awards. And I am joined by none other than the one and only winner of last year's International Bar Mentor Award, the Director of Mixology from the Connaught. After 15 years, I got it. Yeah, I got it. Mr. Ago Perone.
Ciao Lauren, ciao Lauren. Thank you for having me back on stage next to you. And thank you for not wearing high heels. So
today, sponsored by Birkenstock. Thank you.
No, it's an honor to be back on stage to co-host this fantastic seminar. Thank you for all the speakers of this year for sharing your journey, your vision, and for sure will be contagious for all the other people that are in the room now. Thank you all of you also for keep believing that hospitality is a way of living and keep raising the standard for the next generation coming.
We're already off script. It's fabulous. I love it. But you nailed it.
Studied.
Well, I'm not going to say that. Did you write this? Thank you so much, Ago. And last year, we had some really incredible speakers. Those in the room who attended last year, watched it online on YouTube. Well, all the speakers this year, you watched it on YouTube. I mean, come on, get your hands in the air. But we have an absolutely stellar panel today. And Ago, of course, it's great to have you as the co-host. Both of us were presenters last year in Mob of Mentors. And before we get into the format, because that's what makes this special, along with the speakers, I wanted to ask you, what were some of the moments as a speaker that stayed with you from last year? Because you went through this terrifying experience last year.
No, I think that it's terrifying until you come on stage, that you don't know what's happening. You just do it.
Do you want this card? You don't have to say anything on it.
Okay, no. No, I think that for me personally it was a very humbling experience because in this modern pace of living, there is so much happening. So you tend to look at your own things, right, in your way. And listen the other 11 speakers sharing their own way and their own vision was mind-opening because it reminds me that what we do for living is not one way, but there are 360 degrees opportunity around us. And be open-minded, I think, is a little bit the secret of keep on growing.
Yeah, totally agree. And at the back of the room, you had the great pleasure also of having cocktails by our Patrón Perfectionist 2022 global winner, More Corral. Making very tasty drinks with Patrón Silver, so please do go and grab a drink. And on the other side, we have Mr. Nathan Price, who is our current global champ from Patrón Perfectionist. They are joining us from Liverpool and Tel Aviv, respectively, so thanks for making the journey. So, what is mentorship and why does it matter? What does it mean to you? What does mentorship mean to you?
I think mentorship is about facilitating people around you to understand how to grow, how to improve, how to become better, and as well how to become the next generation of. I think that you always are a mentor and mentee at the same time because, as you want to experience more things in life, you need to ask for suggestion, not only to, let's say, elderly people, but also to younger people because they have a different point of view, have a fresh point of view that for sure will be able to inspire you in some way and make you understand that you're learning and you learn, and you teach.
Exactly. Always the student and the teacher simultaneously at all times, from the moment you open your eyes at whatever age you remember to the moment you close them again. It's all mentorship. So why does mentorship matter in this industry? We talk about mentorship a lot, and we shouldn't be flippant about it. We should define it, and I think every single person in the room here has the power to be both a mentor and a mentee, and we talk about taking the hierarchy out of mentorship as well. There is no, you are older than me, therefore you know more than me. It is, you happen to be the person that you are in front of me, and I stand to learn a lot from you. We're trying to remove the ageism also from mentorship. So each of you should look around the room. Look beside you, unless you're Vivian, there's nobody sitting next to you, there's a bag. Look beside you, look to the, learn from the bag. Yeah. Look around you, back to front, side to side. These are the people that are steering our industry. And no two people are the same, no two lived experiences are the same. Therefore, the way every single person approaches this industry and how they communicate with others and the guest is vastly different. So how is this not the richest, most vibrant, most incredible industry in the world?
In one go, brava.
Can you tell us quickly what you presented last year?
Last year I shared, last year was 15 years of Conno Bar journey, and what mentorship meant to me up to the day, which is essentially is creating a culture. I think is a step number one that set a solid foundation from where you can only keep on growing, and where you can welcome people in this culture, that they welcome other people and so on. So I think to get taller is important, but never forget to get grounded is the key.
And last year, we decided to pitch Mob of Mentors as a way of giving each of the 12 speakers, or 11 speakers you see on the screen here, the opportunity to share the type of mentorship that meant the most to them. They all had access to a Hunger Games style Google sheet, where if some person put peer-to-peer mentorship, which Christina Vieira was right in there first, I'm sorry, that subject has now been taken, and you have to choose something else. We had incredible speakers, incredible presentations last year, and it gave us the opportunity to flip the narrative this year into how we discuss the life-changing moments, and no doubt all of us have had them, ups and downs, trials, tribulations, challenges, great times, trauma, but each one of those things, we may not know it in the moment, but if we're strong enough to get through it, it shapes the trajectory of our career and our lives forever. Y'all know what character that is? It's my favorite character. Oh my God, if they don't. Yeah, from The Lion King. Come on, we all know what's up. So, lived experience this year, I am not going to give any clues. Now, this intro is purposefully very long because the presentations are very short, and we have to get our money's worth, Tails. I'm just kidding. I said that only because we started late, and I've just threw a bunch of slides over under the podium here that I don't want to talk about. So, this year, we're going to talk about those life-changing moments. But what is a PechaKucha?
PechaKucha is a nightmare. until you finish your 6 minutes. Is this short name that sounds pretty, but is always there between the ribs every single day.
It's a dagger.
Yeah, right. No, I think PechaKucha, you realize later, is it allow you to squeeze all your ideas and your messages in a very short time. It really reflects the pace of life nowadays, right? We're going fast, we want to engage with everybody, we want to do things, but there is not much time sometimes. So learning how to distill and concentrate those thoughts to pitch for a new product or new cocktail or whatever, or just engage with people, I think is a very good tool. So PechaKucha turned out to be a good friend.
A very good friend in the end through lots of trauma. Yes, wonderful. So as you can see on the screen here, we've got how the PechaKucha works and also a little bit of housekeeping. So firstly, on how it works, how many people in the room have heard of a PechaKucha? So not many. So this is a concept that was created 20 years ago by two engineers as a way of taking the filibustering out of presentations, if you like, and creating a concise and very brief way to get to the point and only presenting slides that had imagery and very little wording and no videos to keep the attention on what the speaker was saying. 20 slides that change every 20 seconds. Nobody has control. Total of 6 minutes and 40 seconds to get through it. Things happen automatically.
Just reminding them, no, leave them alone.
I'm just reminding you in the front row. Perhaps put earmuffs on. Okay, so we should talk about, yeah. But you know what, because of this, because it is a pressure cooker, but nobody is an expert in a PechaKucha. But once you go through it, you become an expert, don't you?
Kind of, yeah.
Are you an expert?
Yeah, you experience it. You experience it. A true experience, you become a better person, right?
We've also been using it internally. We use it in meetings, presentations like this that are part of the industry, but this is a format that really does transcend what is possible as a bartender that is used to presenting at a cocktail competition, used to doing something in a timed trial. I have to complete X amount of cocktails in X amount of minutes while giving a really incredible story to the people in front of me. Well, hell, you do that every day at the bar. So a PechaKucha is pretty easy, actually, when you think about it, and it's just illustrating behind you. Josh is going first. He does not agree. He does not agree. Okay, the last piece of housekeeping, every single person on this stage, when they are finished, they get a standing ovation, no matter what. It's loud, it's proud, we stand up. That's what happens. Now, don't forget to post, because each one of these speakers is doing this for the first time. They are sharing really personal stories about their journey. And please reciprocate and pay it forward by sharing a little bit on social media, tagging them, their bars, because we're really thrilled that they're here today. And I'm so happy you said yes. I don't know how it tricked you into doing this, but here we are. Here is our mob. Ago, you want to introduce them? You want to read their names off the screen?
Shall I? Okay. In no particular order, but it's easier for me to follow the order. Giulia Cuccurullo. Ciao. Laura Torres. The one and only Julie Reiner. You are the mentor of many generations. That's why New York City and places around have fantastic cocktails. Brava. No, thank you. That's why it's not at work. He's here. Giorgio Bargiani. Kate. Buongiorno. Silent communication. Bravo, bravo. Giulia, with a beautiful cocktail name, Mimosa. No? Sì.
Agger, you're doing a great job. You just keep
Kapri,
going.
I'm going too slow?
No, you're doing a great job. You just keep going.
Kapri. Buongiorno. Good out. You ready? Is the maracas sounding good? Josh Al Pacino. And P.O. Brain. Thank you for the smile and the lovely glasses today. I need to borrow them because I can't see properly. Hermano, Joshua, ¿dónde está? The dancer.
You nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. Fantastic. We are going to jump into
Fantastic.
this. Thank you so much to all of our speakers. Thank you for being here. You could have been in line at the POS shop, but you decided to be here with us because they're sold out, so thank you. Pick up your Muy Picante t-shirts at the door that are sold out. Right on. Josh, you ready to do this? We're going to jump in.
Hello, hello.
Can you turn this mic on again? Eric, quick.
Hello.
Quick switches. So, this is we are hoping the tech just like magically works out. The timers start at the same time. That Josh has his voice, that I've got a voice, that Mike doesn't work. Eric's on his way, making sure. We're just scrolling. There's no scrolling in PechaKucha. Okay, so we're going to start. We're going to count you down.
I'm ready.
The most important person in the room is Gianluca because he has to set both timers simultaneously that are not correct. All right. Josh, when you are ready, the only button you're allowed to touch is the right arrow. So only one.
Okay.
Okay?
And only once, and then I can't touch it
That's
again.
And then you can dance, you can be walking like as you prefer.
Okay.
Okay, let's count them down from 3, 2, 1.
My name is Josh Harris. My mic on right now?
We get the low one.
I'm 42 years old. I'm 20 years sober. I'm drugs and alcohol. And I'm an ultra endurance runner. I'm the owner of the Bon Vivants and Trick Dog in San Francisco. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a story of rebirth. This rebirth, it began for me just shy of 3 years ago. It's become a most significant inflection point in my life with no facet, emotional, mental, interpersonal, physical, professional, untouched by it. On August 29th, 2021, you're messing up with my timing here. I just sat at the teppanyaki grill at Restaurant Suntory with my dad in Waikiki. It was a great tradition we were carrying on of father-son trips. But before our food even hit the table, I started to feel really funny. The next thing you know, I was on my way to the hospital. I thought I was having a heart attack. But it turned out it wasn't. In the next 2 weeks, I returned to the hospital 3 more times, each time full of fear and anguish. They tested my brain, my nerves, my blood, my heart. And they kept on asking me this one question every time that I dismissed, saying no. And they said, "Do you have a history of anxiety or panic?" No. Finally, by the process of medical elimination, we concluded that I was, in fact, having severe panic attacks. I felt like I was having heart attacks and strokes. How could this be panic? My life, it seemed, it had moved into a state of complete chaos and fear. I thought I was going crazy. My initial dose of Lexapro only exacerbated the mania. It made me feel like I was completely out of control. And I'd been doing everything in my power throughout my sobriety and my addiction before that to not feel out of control. Everything made me feel like I was in quicksand. It felt like I was suffocating. I felt like the drive and determination, the prowess with which I'd engaged in professional tasks, it was gone. And once a few months down the road, I re-engaged in the process of talk therapy. I continued to take my Lexapro with a balanced dosage, which I continue. But of extreme importance, I began my own process devoted to mindfulness and introspection of my journey. And one of the things that I discovered on that was that I hadn't felt anything in 18 years, which up until that point was the entire duration of my sobriety. I hadn't felt anything in 18 years. It necessitated me digging back into the past, and I focused on the journey surrounding my sobriety and my addiction. How does feeling interface with addiction? How does feeling interface with sobriety? Somehow I had found a way through both of those states of addiction and sobriety to not feel anything. I had to go through some de-stim. I stopped drinking coffee. I began regular guided meditations. I stopped watching television. I tried to spend less time on my phone, began reading books, started falling asleep to sleep stories. I was on a shifting plane of opposing ideas. Mindlessness versus mindfulness. Connection versus disconnection. For years, I'd been trying to live in a state of mindlessness because mindfulness was too crazy for me. During this time, my running evolved from recreational 5K runner to ultra endurance 100-miling maniac in a very short period of time. And an important question began to get raised, which was, who am I if not a runner? Which are questions that we ask ourselves with insert anything there. Who am I if not this? Who am I if not an addict? Who am I if not a bar professional? Who am I if not a runner? Endurance running hasn't made it just all okay for me, though. It's actually complicated stuff. I regularly experience panic during running, and I've developed somewhat of a mantra that I train. And I use it when things feel uncomfortable. There's strength in the balance between the heart, mind, and body. And I'll state this mantra out loud, and I go further to explore the dynamics of that mantra out loud to myself. I've found that it's like a mindful, meditative quality when I say these things out loud to myself. But it also becomes a distraction. I continue to talk to myself out loud like I'm two people going back and forth. There is strength in the balance between heart, mind, and body. Through all of this, I get asked, what's your why? By other people, by myself. And I'm finally able to articulate that it's about searching for a greater connectivity with myself and the world around me. And ultimately, this has led to me having empathy and compassion for myself and also for the world around me. Through all of this, it's helped for me to bring people onto my team, metaphorically speaking, of course, but I recruit constantly as a coping method for my panic. Sharing my experience, particularly around the moment of panic with people, has helped make me feel not alone. Life twists and turns in unexpected ways. It can be overwhelming, it can be scary, it can be unfair. But if it can be those things, then it can also be exhilarating and full of love and happiness and profound feeling of fulfillment. I'm not alone. And with me sharing this with you, you are now not alone. I'm grateful that you're all on my team, and I wish you peace and love and lots of popsicles. Thank you. Thank you!
Give it up for Josh Harris. Whoa. Do you get the concept now? Unbelievable. For you?
Thank you, Josh. Okay.
You can make comments if you want.
No. I think is a remarkable start of today's seminar, because we always talk about techniques, how to try to improve, express yourself, but we always look what is next to us, around us. But look inside you, and accept it and face it and go forward, I think is the most difficult step. And to share it after is equal difficult and powerful at the same time, because everything comes from here in whatever we do in life, in our job. And sharing your own journey, Josh, was, I think, touched me personally. And I believe that is a good example for the rest of the people. If you want to go in meditation or not, but just to take time to look in rather than look out. Thank you.
Can I add one thing? You're about to introduce, aren't you? Can I add one thing? Just one thing. When you're listening to the speakers, like just as an example, I helped to organize all the slides, of course, but I purposely didn't read the speaker notes. I didn't really look or pay attention because I wanted to be blown away by learning something about my friend Josh, and I'm totally blown away. And as bartenders, operators, brand ambassadors, people that work in this industry, it doesn't matter what position you hold, the energy that comes from stories like this resonates throughout the team, resonates throughout the relationships, the friendships, and that's what makes you special, and that's what makes Trick Dog special. It makes everything special. So, amazing. Thank you.
I need glasses to read Kapri Robinson profile, because wow, how much stuff you do. Where you find the time? No? It's very inspiring already, even before listening.
Those are nice glasses, by the way.
It's cool, eh?
Not from the POS shop. Like
You need glasses to look and glasses to look cool.
Amen.
Okay, Kapri Robinson is a bartender of Allegory, founder of Chocolate City's Best, can't wait to try, co-owner of Soul Palette, and owner of Epic Experience LLC.
He got it all. Come on up.
Andiamo, Kapri, andiamo.
Great. We're gonna talk. And this, okay, yes.
Okay,
so nervous.
You let us know when you're ready, and we count you down from 3.
Okay.
You let us know.
I'm ready.
Sure you don't want to say hi?
Oh, yes. Oh, I didn't know that was a part of my.
It's not really, but it's whatever you need.
Hi, I'm so happy you're here. I'm having an irritable eye, so I might randomly cry. A rhyme.
I got lots of stuff stuck in my eye today as well. Okay, you let us know once I hit the right key. We're just
Okay.
gonna go.
Let's go.
Yeah? Okay. Let's count down. 3, 2.
Kucha. Okay. So I didn't apply to multiple colleges. I applied to one, and it was Howard University. Howard University is a historical black college and university, HBCU, and it was something that I decided to do because it was what I saw. I was living in D.C., and my family was friends with people from Howard. When I got to Howard, I saw things that I didn't see back in my own life, which were people that looked like me everywhere, all the time. We did things, we went to the monuments, we walked to the movies, we ate, and it was always just us. And I didn't have that growing up. My mom was actually kind of against it. So seeing crowds of black people, brown people was big. It felt good. It felt like community. It felt like something I needed, and I didn't know I needed it, and it just was great. But then I dropped out because it's college, and the first industry that accepted me and gave me a job was the restaurant industry. And when I started in the industry, I was having a great time. I loved people, and didn't even know, though, that I was kind of missing what I was doing at Howard type of communities. When I got into bartending, someone literally pushed me into a competition. And it was Bacardi Legacy. I don't know if everybody remembers that one. It was my first ever competition. And the Hendrix one, those were my first 2 ever. And it was like, oh shit, I'm like doing a thing, right? And I was going to these competitions and I was finding myself in a community still, and just saying like, oh shit, I'm doing things and having cocktails and shaking them up and creating. I'm still learning. I'm still feeling good about life. But I was finding that I was still kind of the only one looking like myself a little bit, right? I won DC Cocktail Queen. It was my first competition I ever won. I didn't win any of the other ones. And once I won that one, it was such an eye-opener. Like, I mean, the city was on fire. They were like, I was the first black cocktail queen of DC. I was the first one to do this thing. Yeah. And because of Cocktail Queen, I went to my first distillery ever. Like, I was just like, what? Like, it doesn't just come from a store and, like, on a shelf. It's, like, people make this. And that was huge for me. But I'm still seeing that I'm the only one. I went to camp, Run Amok. This is my first cabin mates. Sorry, I'm not supposed to talk about that. I'm supposed to keep talking. But I went to camp, Run Amok. It was awesome. It was great. 150 campers, leadership, different things like that. But very few of me. I'm missing my Howard connection. I'm missing that feel of seeing us come together. And I'm asking myself, why? Right? Now I'm asking myself, what's going on? Like, what do we know? Do we know that these things exist? Do we know that camp exists? Do we know that distilleries are making our booze? Or do we just think it's in a bottle? Do we know? And because of that, I mean, not even because of that, because of the Cocktail Queen, I was still finding new things. I went to Tales of Cocktail for the first time, right? And I was seeing that there was awards. This year, DC Columbia Room won an award, and I was so excited, right? And I was just like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? We gotta go home. And I'm like, I wanna do that. And I was like, I want people, black and brown people, to see that this is a thing we can win, we could get these things. And I was like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I get extended to a competition for Black History Month, and it was amazing. It was the first thing I ever saw like that, ever. And oh my God, this is crazy. And I was the only black woman. I just wanted to do something for people, so I created Chocolate City's Best as a competition for us, by us, and now it's an organization. And because I did that, it's because I was longing for that community that Howard had showed me, that journey, that black journey that people were going on. I wanted that people to feel comfortable where they were. And in that, my best friend Danae is on the screen. I'm sorry, I have to call her out because that's my girl, who is now a part of Chocolate City's Best also. And finding that the community I've been putting together with my best friends, that's Michael Holliday Jr., is what I was getting at Howard. And I had started to make the connection that without going to that school, I would not have known what that community looked like or felt like. You know, I feel like my journey in this career, in the path that I've been doing in terms of finding space for people to feel safe, wouldn't have been without Howard. So we came together and we started doing initiatives. We started doing storytelling, writing history, things that were erased from us in terms of not only this industry, but in the world. We wanted to bring it back and make sure that we were making a stamp on history. We were doing things. 2020 happened. People were in the house. And we kept up our presence. And I kept up a presence to show people that I'm still very passionate about this industry and passionate of showing and giving space and filling in gaps for people that were like me, black and brown people in the industry, and that we can do it. And then initiatives happened, right? Online, we were connecting, we were making bridges, we were doing these things. DEI was really in it, right? We were making inclusive spaces happen during 2020. And then we started seeing more of the change in the industry. And I felt like this was something that needed to happen. And because of all of these things, all the media presences, happenings happened. I am so grateful for just being passionate of filling a space like I saw. I wanted people to wide-eye like me. I'm like, look, we could do this. I wanted them to see that too. And because of that, I've been able to create, be around, oh my God, I have 20 seconds, and things. So Howard saved me because it showed me that I could do this and be in a place, and you guys are awesome, and yes.
it's one of those times where you can say, you were right on time. Kapri Robinson, everybody. Gianluca, your timer's going off. So incredible. And I'm sure you all recognize Kapri Robinson, right? I mean, not only from Allegory, but she was on Drink Masters. What's great to see is the representation, the power, and that it takes, there's so many people, everyone in the front row here, everybody in the room, you're all taking a specific interest in a few things that you dedicate your life to it. And it was amazing to see it on the screen and to learn more about you. So thank you for sharing, Kapri. You have some comments?
Mamma mia, where do you find? No, honestly, you're driven by passion. You find time to do different things that are part of your life, but at the same time you care about the other people around you. So yeah, never change.
All right, it's time. Laura Torres, come on up. Director of Operations for the Dead Rabbit. And while she was trying to prep and put this, come on up. While she was prepping to put this together, she was all, opening just a tiny bar, no big deal, in Austin, Dead Rabbit Austin. But we're so happy to have Laura here today.
Thank you for having me. Very exciting. Do I introduce myself? What do I do? You introduced me, right?
I already did it.
I'm done. Great. Okay.
done.
Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Yeah. You have 6 minutes and 40 seconds to tell them everything else about
Oh,
yourself.
gosh. Okay. Should we do it? Yeah. All right.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah?
Can I do up? Sorry. I'm sorry. I think my brain works better that way.
Available for the timer availability. It can be up, down,
Left, right.
left, right.
If I mess you up, don't worry. I can do it the other way.
He has one job. It's this. It's a good one. He's almost done. I can see. It's happening.
It's the best and the
Come on,
worst.
Gianluca, you can do it. You can do it. There we go. All right.
Yay.
When we hit the right button,
Yeah.
it's just going to go.
I know. I'm so
and then
excited.
we'll see you on the other side.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Let's do it.
3,
2, 1. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to start talking about my journey from the beginning. When I moved to New York City, I had just graduated college. Hi, Nicola. And I was going to move to be on Broadway. Very quickly realized I did not want to be rejected every single day of my life. And I had always been in hospitality. So I said to myself, great, why don't I do that until I figure it out? Opened Dead Rabbit as a server in the parlor, and I realized, wow, this could be my career. This is what I could do for the rest of my life. I can grow and learn in this place. I was there for 3.5 years, busted my ass, said, I want more. What you got? What can you give me? Where can I go from here? So I had the great opportunity to open as the GM Blacktail. We did such a great job. RIP, we miss it. We loved Blacktail. But in that, there's something called the Peter Principle. When you're really good at your job, you get promoted to do a different job, and you're very underqualified for it. So because of that, I had to fucking figure it out, right? And to do that, I was focusing so much on work, and I had no backup plan to figure out how to be a balanced human, right? I was not eating healthily, not working out, I was not sleeping, my emotional capacity wasn't great. Now that's in my personal life. And you put on that mask and you hide and you crush it at work and you just drive and drive and drive and drive. We're all like that, right? We all do that. So because of that, I got promoted again, back to Dead Rabbit, director of operations, really didn't know what I was doing. And those bad habits really caused the cracks start to come in my work life as well. So I was not making deadlines. I was not organized. I was not able to give the best version of myself. So I was like this crazy anxiety person who just had no idea what to do. It was a constant loop of, I can't get it together. I can't figure out why I can't be successful, either professionally or personally. So this was in 2020, early 2020. Two of my friends at work and I decided not religious, but we're like Lent, 40 days you have to commit to something. So we're like, let's do keto. Let's get control of our lives back. Let's figure out a way to do that, right? So we tried keto, and then the pandemic hit, right? So we all went many different ways, and I said, all right, I'm gonna stick to keto, I'm gonna live this life, and I'm just gonna try harder. I'm just gonna try to do this and see where I can get from this. I'm gonna start working out every day. We were closed for so long, so I really had nothing to do, but I was forced to focus on myself. And it's unfortunate that something like a global pandemic, or a pandemic, whatever we call it, had to be the thing to facilitate that. I got this workout class that I loved. I was eating right. I cut back on my drinking. I was spending actual meaningful time with the people that I love who support me. And that to me, it just completely changed my mindset. I said, I am gonna come back, and all of the things that I wasn't doing well in my role, I'm gonna master that. I'm gonna be the best version of myself. Nobody's gonna come back to me with critiques. I'm gonna be there for the team. I'm gonna be a support for them. I'm gonna be the person they want me to be. At home, I'm gonna be the person my partner wants to be. I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna superwoman this shit, right? I got it. And I did. I had it, man. I was crushing it. I was working out, then going to the bar, working 12 hours. And to me, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, now that I'm healthy in body and mind, I'm successful, great. And then the cracks started to happen, right? The cracks started to happen because I'm only one fucking person, and you're letting your cup go to everybody else, and nobody's gonna fulfill it, you know? What happened to the mask thing in airports, right? You're supposed to put your mask on first. I wasn't putting the mask on. I was putting the mask on everybody else, and I was drowning. The stress got to me. One little crack and everything started to fall, and it was really, really tough. I woke up one day, I had a full mental breakdown. You're gonna see the next slide, which is really gross. I bursted all of the blood vessels in both of my eyes. That wasn't me, but that's what I looked like. Both of my eyes. Broke up with my partner. We had been together for like 8 years. Called my parents, didn't show up to work. All of this happened, right? And so I took a moment and said to myself, you need to go back. Go back to that time in your life that everything changed for you, that you really felt like you could get there. Get focused. Start filling your cup again. Put your oxygen mask on first. Because otherwise, you're not going to be successful for the people around you. Like, you have to take care of you first. And so we started again. We went back on the process. And you know, I'm like, all right, how do I avoid this happening again? We all have stressful things in our lives happening. We were moving on. We had changed our whole but we did a rebrand of Dead Rabbit. We adjusted our leadership team. Like, all of that was happening. Again, I have to be there for everybody. I'm leading this team. I'm somebody that people are looking at. Fill your cup, Laura, fill your cup. Be there for people, be there for people. I mean, it's fucking exhausting what we do, right? I got to that point. My now fiance, I didn't break up with him, so that was good. We stayed together. He saw that I was in a place that we could actually do something together. I started realizing, I wasn't supposed to say this yet, but it's like that RuPaul, like, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else? Like, I got to there to love me so that everybody else could love me. And now Austin happened 3 weeks ago. So that's what's wild about this whole thing, is that your whole life happens, and I'm like, oh, we're opening a bar. And what's happening? I'm recognizing the signs in myself of, whoa, 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 whoa. You need to put your oxygen mask on. You need to take care of yourself, because you can't lead other people if you can't. Chaos. It's pure chaos what we do. That is what my face is. I'm staying at the bar too late. I'm doing this, that, and the other thing. All the things we shouldn't be doing. The next slide, I'm the shit show supervisor, self-proclaimed. But I'm now learning the tools and the tricks to stop myself, to prevent it going back into the deep, dark place. And that's really the key. You have to find those moments. I have to find those moments of when I can sit back and say, hey, go to the pool. Go work out take a day off. It's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna survive. Everything's gonna be great. You have to do this for yourself to make sure that everybody else gets the best version of you, because as leaders and mentors, that has to come first. It has to come first. No matter what it takes, take care of yourself.
So would it surprise you that Laura Torres went to school for musical theater? Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Give it up again for Laura Torres. The other part of how we chose this year's topics and speakers of what we sort of wanted to engage with them on, bringing something to life in mentorship that maybe we haven't really talked about before is that mentorship are stories of lived experience shared with other people, and there's probably lots of people in the audience that really resonated with Laura's presentation. So we all went through the pandemic, and everyone went through their own highs and lows, ups and downs, but you told us all about it, like in great detail, and thank you for your courage. No, it was amazing. Thank you for your courage. Like that's incredible, incredible. Thank you. Thank
You need to
again.
go in details, otherwise you cannot project the message, right?
What's the point?
Yeah. Thank you. Andiamo?
Andiamo.
Giulia, andiamo? Giulia Cuccurullo. Giulia, she's very creative. She does whatever she wants. So she stepped from this side instead of this side. Thank you, Giulia. Now, Lauren gonna tell me off. Lauren gonna tell me off because I didn't tell you to follow the instruction.
Try again. Ciao.
Giulia Cuccurullo.
Don't
Giulia,
touch anything.
when she's not traveling to spread the Italian passion, you find her in the heart of London at the Artisan Bar at the Langham Hotel, and she's the head bartender. Very patient head bartender. Grazie Giulia. Are we ready? Got to be.
No, you don't push anything. I'll do it for you, okay? Hold on. But it's still Laura Torres on the screen, so I'm just going to do this. So everyone can make sure that they capture your Instagram handles. They can post lots of beautiful photos and videos of you spilling your guts on the stage.
Ci siamo?
Great.
You got it.
You ready?
May I have a mic because my voice?
No, you're taking this.
You got it.
Thank you. So we need to check first my voice. Can you hear that? Cool. Because I can.
You ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
So many things can shape your life. Sometimes you don't even know which one until somebody asks you to think about it. Thank you, Lauren and Ago. I thought a lot about it, and they can tell you that I thought a lot about it. But just one feeling came into my mind. Have you ever had a feeling of not belongings? I had it many times. And I'll tell you how it helped on shaping my life. But first, let me tell you, again, I'm Giulia Cuccurullo. I'm the head bartender at the Artisan Bar in the Langham, London. But before than that, I was many other things. But let's start from the beginning. Once upon a time, I was living in Naples, Napoli, Italy. I was born there together with my twin sister. And as you can imagine, we were doing everything together. I was basically never alone. We were also studying together, architecture. During my time at the university, I thought I had everything planned out. I was going to be an architect together with my sister. I had a long-time relationship that looked so good that I thought it would last forever. I had friends, family, and a part-time job in a bar that allowed me to do my trips on the side. I was in the middle of my comfort zone of everything planned. But it wasn't exactly like that. Suddenly, I finished my exam at the university, and also my long-term relationship ended. I found myself that my certain things faded away. I was pushed outside my comfort zone without even choosing it. I felt that I did not belong there anymore. There was nothing to keep me there at all. So I found myself on a crossroad where I didn't know where to go. But it was sad, it was scary, but it was really exciting. Many choices to choose from, many opportunities. So I started to ask myself, who am I? Who do I want to be when I grow up? I didn't really have an answer yet, but I knew that I had to change something to find myself. Who was I outside my comfort zone? So I decided to give myself a little bit of time to discover it. I decided to go to London, learn some English, and try bartending in the meantime, because I was doing it home, and trying to fill the gap, not between the train and the platform, but between my past and my future. That was representing basically my present. My moving to London wasn't easy because obviously I was in a city by myself for the first time. I didn't know the language, I didn't know anybody. But the most disappointing part was that some of my friends, they tried to keep me there, not because they thought they wanted me there with them. They just didn't think I was strong enough to make it. So I had to move. I have to move to change some old habits. Mine, to have everything planned ahead. And theirs, to see me like that. To see me like that. I wanted to grow and change. And this sense of purpose allowed me to have the strength to go there and face the challenge ahead. So I was in London, but again, I felt that I did not belong. Why? I didn't know. Because I didn't know if I was there because I wanted to show my friends that I could, or because I wanted to. I was bartending and doing well for myself, but I didn't really know if that was gonna be my real job. That because although I was really passionate and studying a lot and growing my skills and my English, I still had a sense of guilt towards people that I left behind. Sense of guilt towards my parents, they really want me to go back home and be an architect. Sense of guilt about myself because I didn't make a decision yet. The decision came when my mom passed away. It would have been really easy, go back home, be an architect as she really wanted to, and just go back on my old comfort zone. And I really thought about it, but I didn't want to. I thought that to be fair to myself and to her, I just need to admit that bartending was my career, and I just owned myself and her to do it at my best. So I started to push myself on the uncomfortable situation, just to be ready to don't have surprises anymore. Before than this, I couldn't even imagine to talk in front of 10 people. Imagine this. So I trained myself a lot, just because I wanted to do it. It was scary again, but really exciting. I approached it in the only way I knew, like it was an exam at university. Trying to figure out, to study and to try. Also the design of the cocktails were like design of a building, starting from the end, coming back to the technique that I needed too. I noticed that my approach changed many other things in my life. I used what I learned in the past to be what I wanted to be in my future. I understood that using the experience of my previous life would allow me to be myself and only myself. Now, if I didn't leave my comfort zone, I would have never be able to express myself and to be myself. You have two ways to leave your comfort zone, because it happened to you, like happened for me at the beginning, or because you choose it, like I start to do. And your self will be defined by how you deal with it. You just sometimes need a little push. And all the people around you and your team can help you too. You can help them too, just to figure out what they want to do and just push them slowly, slowly outside their comfort zone. There is a song in Italian that I really love that says, "Sono cambiamenti solo se spaventano." It means it's a change only if it scares you. Because believe me, when you are on the other side, it's never as scary as it looks. You just need to find why you want to cross that street, that line, and just put yourself in that direction. Now, my mom already knew my path when she pictured me inventing the cocktail trolley. I go, Giorgio, me first. You can see it here. So now, just think about your goal. You'll find them outside your comfort zone if you look close. That was my path, and that was my journey. And what's yours?
Wow, that was amazing. I think Giorgio and Ago, there might be some sort of Hunger Games trolley situation in the hallway afterwards. But, oh, sorry, there you are.
He pay our salary.
Allora.
Allora.
What I loved learning about Giulia over the years, and now all of you get to learn it as well, is I didn't realize that she came from being an architect. And when you walk into the Artesian, you see her perform at perfectionist, you see anything that she puts on paper or puts in the glass or how her team operates, they're all operating from this mindset of architecture, of like building things. So it's not just a drink, it becomes a total experience that you won't have anywhere else. And that's very, very cool to learn about you.
You have Napolitan flamboyance with a structure or architecture. I didn't know so many things about you, Giulia. Was very eye-opener to have you on stage. You're little Giulia for me. To have you on stage, super solid structure, and be realistic to share that changes can happen because you want or because you have to. And either way, you need to do the first step, embrace it, and make it part of your journey. So thank you for sharing your journey.
And also, how challenging to be able to try and learn another language, right? We all in this room.
I'm still trying.
I know. We can understand half of what you're saying, but that's okay. We have. I think that your English is.
I talk about Spanish. I talk about Spanish.
Estoy aprendiendo.
You tried.
Sí. That's all I can say, as I told Josh earlier. No, but I think getting on this stage, it's fear factor, right? You're doing the presentation, but imagine that we expect everyone just speaks English, and you are learning another language, and you have a time limit, and you're sharing about yourself. So, kudos to you. Kudos to you. Allora.
And the next one, with a very, very, very similar name to Giulia, but it's the English version, Julie Reiner. Vieni on stage, come here. So Julie, for the occasion, dressed like cocktail cherry, which is very iconic and beautiful and delicious and sweet.
Thank you.
It's the cocktail cherry that you put in many cocktails in your famous cocktail bar. So, do I need to present?
Did you read the card?
Oh. Ok. Giulia Reiner, corner. Oh, dai, ragazzi. Clover Club, me ladies. And what else?
Leander,
And what else you want to do when you grow up?
this is it.
That's it. No,
I'd
believe you.
I'd like to do less.
You,
And she's also running an event simultaneously across the hall in the Gran Familia Cafe with Milady. So, multitasking.
do less,
at its
means
best.
more. Brava, Julie. We leave
I
the
would
stage
like to donate
you.
my microphone to you.
Yeah, so we're doing mics.
The Madonna mics don't appear to work, and everyone from the AV department has left.
Thanks, AV. I will do it from here then. All right.
You okay with that?
Are we ready? I like a Madonna moment for sure. All right.
You're the best.
I'll try.
Ready?
I think so.
Okay.
All right.
3, 2.
Okay. I met the love of my life in San Francisco, and like a good lesbian, within 1 year, we moved to New York City together. In San Francisco, we were a very small fish, or big fish in a very small pond over there. And New York City was going to be a very different situation for us. We arrived in New York in 1998, and Susan started graduate school at NYU. And I couldn't get a bartending job anywhere because it was a boys' club, of course. But eventually, I managed to get some jobs, and we kind of got our footing. And I started kind of making a name for myself with the drinks that I was doing in New York City. Susan finished graduate school, and we decided that we were going to move down to Lower Manhattan. It was so nice down there. There were brand new buildings. We moved to 120 Greenwich Street, the closest residential building to the South Tower of the World Trade Center. And this was May of 2001. Life can change in an instant. We were in our mid-20s, and I was, again, making really great strides. People were learning about what I was doing. New Yorkers wanted great drinks. But we went to bed on September 10th, and when we woke up, the course of our lives had changed forever. I know that this picture is a lot. I chose it because it's a miracle that we have this photo of the moment in time that our lives changed forever, and the lives of so many other people. The plane was so low that our entire building shook, and it was a very traumatic experience. This was across the street from our building, and the red spot is basically where our building was. We spent hours trying to get back downtown to rescue our cats after escaping it all, and we were turned away. Immediately after 9/11, there were posters everywhere of the missing people. I lost my job, we lost our home and nearly everything in it, and we were running for our lives that day, barely making it out of that area. And the experience felt insignificant in comparison to people who lost their lives, although we had lost a lot. This was eventually getting into our building, my parents helping us carry our dining room chairs to the subway so that we could have something to sit on in our new space in the middle of Manhattan. We had massive guilt for living through what so many people did not. And we didn't know how to move forward. This was my aunt's art class. They were very invested in our cats. And once we rescued the cats, we got 30 handmade cards that were just so beautiful. I don't know why the cats are on pedestals, but I'm here for it. In the months after 9/11, we just felt lost and kind of raw, and we didn't know how to move on. There was military on every corner, funerals every other day, and the city just smelled like it was burning. We couldn't sleep, and we could barely function. We knew that we had to get out. So we went to Hawaii, where I'm from, because it's the most peaceful place that I could think of to go. And we spent a lot of time watching planes fly in and out and seeing them land and not have an issue. And it just made us feel a lot better about things. And we exhaled for the first time in a very long time. We sat on a beach. We started to feel safe again for the first time. And we started thinking about something else other than that day. We remembered what it felt like to laugh and have a good time. And we understood that the only thing more tragic about what happened on September 11th was surviving it and letting fear stop us from living our lives. We began to remember our dreams that we had before that day, and we started to dream them even bigger. We knew that we wanted to be with each other for the rest of our lives, so we took care of that and got married on the beach with 2 people there. And that was fun. And, we had motivation like never before. We thought we might stay in Hawaii forever, The thought of going back was really challenging and scary. But it was time to leave. So we went back, and Susan decided she no longer wanted to work a corporate job, and we decided we were going to move forward with trying to open our first cocktail bar, Flatiron Lounge. We pushed really hard to get it open, and we just wanted to be a part of the growth of the New York City scene and businesses. So many people had left, and we didn't want that to, we wanted to help the city grow again. So we went from being scared to being angry to being fearless. Yes. And getting it done it was really personal. There was zero option for failure. We returned, it was 2002 of spring when we got back to New York, and we knew that we could not let terrorism change the trajectory of our lives. Because if we did that, then they win. And we couldn't allow that to happen. The first few years after, we thought about that day every day. And then as time went on, we slowly stopped thinking about it, but we had new perspective on life. Everything that mattered was good, and the rest of it was just bullshit, when you're faced with life and death in that way, you don't sweat the small stuff. The stuff that would ruin your day is no longer a big deal, you know? This is a slide that really is all about my professional life and work. And had I chosen to abandon my life in New York because of that fear and anxiety of what could happen in a city like New York City, had I run away from my trauma that day, all of this may not have happened. Thank you. Woo! That's a tough story to tell in 6 minutes and 40 seconds.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Julie, I believe that's the first time you've shared that story publicly. Everyone cried, right? Like, okay, yeah, a little bit. Julie is, we said it at the beginning, you said it at the beginning, she is the forever mentor. Like, honestly, to everybody in this room, to everyone you've met recently that comes up to you and tugs on your pant leg and says, I love you, you're amazing, because you're now really, really famous on TV star. But Julie has always made time for other people, and specifically for women, which is really important because Julie has grown up in the industry where you have to take the space and make the space, LGBTQ community, like you name it, but also a proponent for everybody. Gender doesn't matter. Julie's the forever mentor, so thank you.
We all need a Julie in
We
our
all
city.
have a Julie. You want me to do it, or are you going to do it? You want me to?
Yeah.
Oh, allora.
Sì.
So we are halfway through. Y'all are doing a great job. Do you love the format? It's great, right? Yeah. Can we get some drinks passed around? That would be amazing. Look at the superstars in the back. Team Canada. We've got more. We've got Nathan. The only thing that could possibly make this better is some Patrón in your glass. So let's have it. And a shot for Kapri. You got to know where you've come from. We love shots at Patrón. We also love spicy margaritas, and we love the custom margarita from Moore and the custom Paloma from Nathan, of course. Okay, our next presenter, very good friend of mine, very good. You're all very good friends of mine, but you're a very good friend of mine, very good friend of mine. LP O'Brien. She is the founder and owner. Can you go to one slide? Sorry. Oh, is it not working? Hold on, let's do this. Yeah, okay, bueno. Founder and owner of LP Drinks Beverage Agency, focus on health, and the soon to open, but also in production at the moment, Bar Lienzo. Are you ready? Do you want to come up on stage? LP O'Brien, everybody. We still don't have an AV team, so you're okay with this?
I have to preface by saying I'm very much postpartum, so if I start crying, I'm postpartum, okay? Every slide. Hi, everyone. It's excited to be here.
You let me know. You want to do a lap? You want to?
No, I'm good. We're just going to get into it. We're going to do it. All right.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
All right. So in the echoes of time, my story begins with Bernice Guittard. My grandmother, born in the 1920s, stood tall against the challenges that came her way. An African-American woman navigating a world not built for her. She became our family's cornerstone. Her resilience set the foundation for my journey. My parents, the exemplars of tenacity and hard work, they labored tirelessly, providing not just for our needs, but laying the groundwork for dreams. Their unwavering support and determination are my guiding lights, showing me the path of perseverance. The Bronx. So this is the Bronx in the 1990s, a vibrant, challenging world. Altar boys, subway rides, Yankee stadiums roar, block parties and kids playing in sprinklers. Poverty was the backdrop, but the spirit was rich. These streets and moments shaped my life forever. Life is one of 8 children. So I'm one of 8 children, a dynamic family tapestry. A 10-year gap between me and my older sibling. And at 5, I watched my parents foster 4 younger siblings, teaching me the essence of family and community, responsibility, and most importantly, community. This is school in Morris Park, a predominantly Italian neighborhood. This is where I grew up. This is my childhood. This is my community. Italian and Albanian influences, our black family, the sole representation of diversity. Despite our neighborhood's poverty, my parents ensured we reached and had the best education. So, a few years ago, I discovered my DNA. At the age of 14, discovered that I was adopted. And I'm Afro-Boricua, very proud, a blend of Jamaican, Puerto Rican, and African-American heritage. Yeah, hi, Tara. College brought on my first brutal encounter with racism. My protected upbringing in the Bronx couldn't shield me from the harsh realities of the world. This wake-up call to prejudice and complexity fueled my drive to create inclusive spaces and foster understanding. Cocktails are my medium for storytelling. This was actually my first trip as an adult to Puerto Rico. I had been when I was younger, but it was absolutely magical. The island's embrace of community and support was a revelation, showing me the power of collective strength and cultural pride, a place where traditions thrive and hearts are united. Cocktails are my medium. I often say that we're creatives, and we all have different canvases. So at the Emmys, my non-alcoholic creation showcased this art form. I had the pleasure of making this drink. Through each drink, I craft connections, blending creativity and narrative, proving that every sip can tell a powerful story. On Drink Masters, I crafted the Everything But the Alley Cat cocktail. For the first time, I publicly embraced my heritage, stepping past fears of judgment, and for the very first time, coming out of my comfort zone and embracing my roots despite that discomfort. And from that experience, bodega culture was born, my pop-up, the heartbeat of connection. It's all about storytelling, sharing customs, and inviting people into our cultural world. I mean, bodegas are the only place you can have a running tab, you know? Through bodega culture, we build community and celebrate our shared experiences. And now, I'm a mom, so seeing my daughter's sonogram shifted my entire universe, prioritizing what truly matters to me. Everything is super clear. So I really am leaning into creating connections, finding my community, and defining my shared path. Pregnancy in the beverage industry brought on challenges, but specifically participating in Puerto Rico Cocktail Week while pregnant was one of the most empowering and wonderful experiences. Surrounded by unwavering support by many of you who are in this room, those who stood by me showcased their true solidarity, highlighting the importance of community and support. So giving back to the community with all these experiences I've gone through is one of the most important things to me. Companies like Focus on Health raising over $100,000 for bartenders. Cocktails and comedy tours focused on highlighting marginalized communities and talent and supporting efforts like Chocolate City's Best. I dream of world peace, y'all. Navigating the complexities of identity and politics, I live with integrity, setting firm boundaries. I refuse to let others compromise my values, standing strong in my truth and a vision for a better world and community. These are icons. So icons like Beyonce and Celia Cruz inspire me. Beyonce's celebration of underrepresented genres and Celia Cruz's racial activism with Bemba Calora echo through my work. Caribbean music like rumba and salsa rooted in social and political activism. I aim to create similar weaves in the beverage space in the work that I get to do. This is a recent trip to the African American Museum in DC with my daughter, which was so powerful and reinforced the importance of celebrating our contributions. Partnering with the African American Museum is one of the projects that I'm currently navigating with my bar, And one of the things we will be doing is collecting oral history of all the contributions of African Americans in our sector. This is my daughter with me in Puerto Rico just a few weeks ago. Being at this collective and collaborative hub, La Factoria, a symbol of Caribbean hospitality, her presence reminds me of why I do what I do. It's about empowerment, legacy, and all the things that are really important. As parents, we are always expected to show up and be 100% of ourselves. I am incredibly passionate about making the service industry an accessible career choice for parents, because there's a big difference between possible and accessible. This drive shapes my every decision, pushing me to really create inclusive spaces. And now Barlienzo is born. Embracing my history, culture, and every facet of my story led me to create Barlienzo, using cocktails to share my story, correcting stereotypes and archetypes. From the Bronx to my Afro-Boricua pride, being a mom, I'm really, really excited for what's to come. Yeah.
Looking forward to what comes next for you. Did you all hear that? LP found out that she was adopted at 14, but she didn't find out what her heritage was until 27? Yeah, until she was 27. It's a long time to wait to figure things out. So thanks for sharing. That was
Thank
very
you, LP,
amazing.
for
Really
sharing. If we need an excuse to go to Mexico,
As we often do.
we're about to have him on stage. I like that how. Joshua, Monaghan, where is your surname from? See? Where is your surname from? Is Mexicano? Ah, bravo, scusa.
Don't ask.
I'm very curious.
Don't ask him too many
very cu-
questions. It's his whole
Dai,
presentation.
Beverage Director, Rosewood Mayacoba, Mexico, Riviera Maya, vamos. A great dancer and an amazing throwing technique, right?
He has a
All yours.
serious throw. Serious throw. I'm going to pass you my mic, okay? Okay, he's ready. Okay, should we count down? 3, 2, 1.
Why is music so important in life? The heartbeat in a fetus is the 6 weeks in a little stronger than born signs at hours, approximately 100 beats per minute. And this is a translation by music because, as you know, the music is melody, but also it's rhythm. The music in my life is staying to all different parts of my life, but the most important thing is my family, is they support me in all things. And obviously my mentor is my father. Every time for my great or bad decisions, my father stayed with me and support me all time. The life is a roller coaster, and at the same time, the roller coaster is staying in different moments, high, tall, but at the same time, we learn on a different moments. Now, and this is my niece, and this is the new part of my family, and so important for the I was work for their show to the most beautiful world for now. But now, my family is a musician. And every time we have a really good and different things. In my life, I learn and I listen to the different music, like the revolutionary music, like Silvio Rodriguez and Mercedes Sosa. And for other side, my friends listen to the follow the leader, 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 follow the leader. It's so different. And at the same time, we have a big and different chuck or kick in my life. And now, my father, they teach me for the follow to the different things for the music. And my life, and my mother, it's also very active woman in the social and political life, and where I saw them several times in her events. And now, in the past of the time, we have a super big and different culture because When I played revolutionary music and I made and my family happy, but whatever were on a social party with my friends, they are never understand the music. What I shared today, it's always rejected. And I know how I started to listen to the music that everyone sang and stayed in the new circles. And a few years that passed, my family have lived through a very difficult time because the situation I have to leave to my university. We didn't have the money to cover college expenses. And so I take a decision for the plane in the bus and the public bus because I don't support to my expenses for my college. And for this reason, we had to start to work in a different places, moments, and now this is for the reason I call it to the Joshua Monaghan. I was working in a beautiful place. We call it the Monaghan Alternative Pub, and I take the Monaghan for the marketing plant for we staying in different things. And now we have to create a different imagine. For this reason, we have to combine to the so popular artists and the Mexican cinema. And this, I love to skate, and for this reason, like, look at me. This is I use it, this style. But I left to play the guitar, but I can left to play to the different music. At the same time, we have to create a different events. In the Monaghan Alternative Pub, I was work for the manager, and for this reason, we create a lot of moments for the music. And now we have a small meeting with my little sister. And now I had a conversation with this sister, and I asked her, what is her dream? And she immediately responds to me, what is your dream? And I stayed silent for a moment, and I answered, I want to be the best bartender around the world. And she asked me, this is, oh, wow. And now, after for a few months, I went to live to Cancun, where I returned to the boards. But starting to Cancun, I wasn't easy because I had to sing again to the public bus because I don't have money to eat. Now, and after for a month, I want to great opportunity for I was working in a beautiful venues in the Cancun, like the Hard Rock, or in this case, like the Ritz-Carlton. And I'm learning alone. And in this moment, I have to start to speak a little bit in English because it's a little bit difficult for us that explain to my life in other language. And now I need to search a new mentors for this beautiful life on the industry. Iago Perrone, Eric Lawrence, Malek, and another beautiful and great bartenders. I'll learn more about for this beautiful industry. And now, after that, I interned to a cocktail competition where I met to one of the most important bartenders in Mexico at that time. He invited me to work with the most important and beautiful bar in Mexico City, 50 Meals. Whoa, that for me was a dream come true. It's the Barcelona of bartenders. It's a big, big moment and extremely incredible for to me. After that, I believe a free education for all. And I created the two groups, the most strong groups for community in my country. And the first is the Comunidad de Bartenders Bajío in the center of my country. And the others is the Caribbean Bartender Society in the south part of Mexico. Now, the pandemic started. And I sold to the cheese, I sold to the cocktails in the bottles. And I have a lot of master class online. After that, the pandemic is over. And I have the great and my best friend now, Salvador Guzman. He invited me to work at the beautiful project, we call it to the Zapote Journey Bar. Zapote has made me fall in love more of my country, our culture, our history for traditions of food, and of course of drinks. Now, this is a beautiful and different things, and now I have a new homework. We have to spread and show us for all the world that Mexico is not just lime, chili, and salt. Mexico will have a lot of colors, cultures, and of course, a beautiful music. And now, when you have a chance, I'll be waiting for you, and you enjoy for our country and for my life. Thank you. ¡Viva México!
I actually told them earlier that there would be no like buzzer at the end, but this is a new thing. I didn't know that was going to happen. I'm really sorry about that. Josh Monaghan is a new friend for me. New friend for you? Like, have you known him for many, many years?
Not many, many years, but it's like we're hermanos. We know each other. And
I think what you're doing in Mayacoba, what you're doing to showcase other parts of Mexico outside of just Mexico City and Guadalajara is really special. Everyone that goes to see you says it's the hottest ticket in Mexico. Come and stay with you, be with you, the experience. You are 100% hospitality up and down, so amazing. Shall I go?
sì,
Okay.
va bene.
Our next presenter, we're in the home stretch now. We got 3 left. I love this format so much. It's so great. I've been looking forward to learning more about our next presenter for years. I feel like I've sort of like fangirled you from afar. And now you know in person in front of all these people that I'm fangirling you like in public. Giulia Momose is the owner of Bar Kumiko in Chicago, and an incredible story. Cannot wait for you to take us on the journey. Yeah? Okay. Yeah. Okay, you got this. Let's count down Giulia from 3. Oh, you want to do the other way? Okay, intermission. A small intermission. It'll take him 10 minutes to get it done. Has anyone here been to Bar Kumiko? Everyone else, expectations, get there quickly. Are you doing any events and tales this week? Other than this one? Tell them. Yeah, tell us.
I'm doing I do some photography, and so if you haven't been to Double Chicken Please's showcase around the corner, which is here in the Royal Sonesta, you can check out some other brilliant photographers who also happen to make drinks over there. And then tomorrow I'm doing a thing at the Napoleon House with the fine folks of Martinis with Nika, which I'm super excited about, making some highballs. So.
And they have a great rufalata sandwich as well.
The sandwich is amazing.
The sandwich is amazing. Okay, we got you. Ready? Yeah. Jean-Luc, are you ready? One job. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
My career doesn't come down to one single moment or even choice, but rather it's a culmination of small interactions and decisions throughout the course of my life, of losing myself and finding myself over and over again. These are the things that make me who I am and have been a part of my evolution in this hospitality industry. I started when I was high school, and I was trained to apologize for who I am in a small windowless room with a blackboard and a hospitality instructor who said 2 things to me that I'll never forget. The first was, the trash doesn't smell bad. This is a lesson in conscious control, understanding that reactions to environment have power. They affect everything around us, and we have the decision to control our impulses and thus create a better experience. The other is, if you surprise people with the way that you look, apologize. Apologize for shocking them. Apologize for not looking how they expect. Apologize for not being Japanese, because they will only hear imperfect Japanese from you now. This windowless room was in Daimaru. It was a high-end department store in Kyoto. My entire life growing up mixed in Japan was only heightened by this experience. I don't look Japanese enough, and appearances, they're everything, no? If I crinkle my brow at a smell, or if I shudder at a sudden noise, everyone around me will feel that and hear that, and I have to control those impulses. I have to change who I am. Over time, I've changed these lessons into things that I try to stay focused on, and I've rewritten them into the sense that the guests shouldn't feel how busy we are. We can move with grace and intention. The trash still doesn't smell, but the expectation of the guests as to who we should be shouldn't set our tone, but rather we should hold respect and grace for ourselves. About a year later, I moved to America for university and worked at a food truck by the residence halls at Cornell. Nick Kao would saunter up to the window and lean in, waiting to catch my gaze. Without missing a beat, he'd say, "Hi, how are you doing?" And he would wait for a response. He gave me space, understanding that his order of Cajun fries with a chocolate steak and a cheesesteak could wait for just a moment because he wanted to connect with the person who was standing in that window. I didn't recognize it at the time, but over the years, I realized that that was something that I needed to do more in my life. Nix is the only name that I will mention because his impact was heightened by his untimely death. He was my first great loss and a reminder that we must treasure every moment that we get. We are about 2.5 minutes or so into this presentation. My timer's not working. But did you realize what I skipped? Were you waiting for it when I came onto the stage? Were you caught up into the insistence of this type of presentation? Allow me a moment to just say hello. Hi. Konnichiwa. Thank you so much for being here today. It really means a lot. I feel like there's so many moments in my life where I've just rushed through instead of stopping to be still and connect. It's a fine line that we toe in our industry between being the model employee or the model boss. We're flowing effortlessly from task to task, and I haven't always stopped to say hello. One of those genuine look you in the eyes, "Hi, how are you doing?" Instead, my greetings come in the form of a laundry list of to-dos just spilling from my lips, trying to keep up with the beat of my racing heart. My team is walking into what is a swirl of my hour 3 or 5, just clocking in. But I woke up like this, born into a culture that beats the steady drum of the intensity of expectations. But what does all of this mean if we don't actually connect with anyone? If I can stop for a moment and connect with someone, my team, the delivery driver, my guests, then our entire evening is pitched in consonance instead of dissonance, an environment where we can flow together, and I owe this understanding to Nick. I took a leave of absence from school, and I never returned. I went home instead, and I took a moment to recenter and try to figure out what I was doing with myself and with my life, and I happened upon a small bar in Kobe. There, the bartender hand-chipped perfect spheres of ice for every single drink, even a rum and coke. And I realized that me saying that shows the shadow of implicit bias that we have in the value of a thing, a drink, whether it's a person or anything like that that comes into our space. Everyone comes with an expectation and a hope. Of all of the different people that come in and out of our bars, 50, 100, 200 guests, together they will notice everything that's differently important to them. So it's important for us to realize that everything is important too. My final moment of many, but only a few that I can share today, happened at a place where I was working, where the expectations were high as they should be. The team, we were dialed in as we should be, but where the mentality was me's over people. We were breaking down the bar and it involved hauling pieces downstairs, lugging them back up metal stairs. And my teammate tripped and fell. The echo of this metal piece hitting the stairs reverberated through the space, and the manager came running through the door. He picked up that metal piece. "Is it scratched?" he asked. She stood up and walked into the alley, tears in her eyes. "He cares more about the fucking piece of metal than he does about me. I am a person." And that struck me. It took me back into that room where I was a student of hospitality in Japan, just in high school, told that the trash doesn't stink. And I realized, sure, the trash can stink, and yes, we can control how we react to it, but at the end of the day, this is all about people. Fuck the me's. When everyone is supported, when we are there for each other, when we're truly connecting, then the me's will fall into place because the business is people here, and the foundation must be caring for each other. These are my moments. Taking out the trash. "Hi, how are you?" Everything matters, and people first. I hope that you find space for yourself to lean into all of the moments that you're gonna have today, this week, throughout the rest of your career, and make time for them. Domo arigato.
That was a masterclass in finding yourself. Kate, we knew this would happen. Kate is verklempt. Giulia, I hope that you hugged her because she can't cope right now. She needs you. Yeah. But honestly, there's so many different styles of bartending, right? And they all come from different places. So much of your talent and style come from those little moments as well, but you must have resonated a bit with Giulia's
I
journey.
think, Giulia, you really nailed the point that, cheers, enjoy every single moment and find it the time to connect to people and say hello, how are you is very important. The other day, let me talk now. No, the other day, I live in a beautiful neighborhood in London. We have green around, fountain. It feels like being in a countryside house almost. And as soon as I walk in, I feel a sense of peace because there is a lot of green around and the houses are beautiful. But my neighbor, as many other Londoners, they just don't like to connect to people. They walk with their heads down, or they cross me in the path and they look away. I mean, I'm a nice guy. I say hello. I smile. I say I do nothing wrong, but that's their problem. But any age, any background, it's unbelievable. And the other day I was walking to work. I said, wow, we take time to genuinely ask every single one that come to our bars and restaurant, hello, how are you? And we wait for their answer. Yes. I mean,
we could teach the world a thing or two, I think.
It's with simple things you really make people feel better, feel different, and make them realize that they can walk, with their heads up and look at what's happening around you. So thank you, Giulia, to pick it up. But from one mentor to another mentor of mine as well. We go through so many daily challenges together in work, and we face things in private life. And Giorgio Bargiani, who's sitting there, is the one that always... He tried to face with analytic mindset every situation and try to map it. But then he's the one that find the answer himself and inspire me and the other people. Say, yeah, but let's do it with a smile. And when the attitude is right, everything around you changes, no? And you find the answer. Or sometimes you don't find the answer, someone find it to you. But what does it matter? If we all growing together, that's what we want. So Giorgio Bargiani is the assistant director of mixology at the Connaught Hotel in London. He's next to me. We're next to each other almost every event, doing the pour that people think is very funny. But
fancy, not funny.
Fancy, profitable. And I leave the microphone to Giorgio because I can see he's shaking and he needs to share. I'm very shy. He needs to share.
Ci siamo?
You ready?
Yeah.
Always born ready.
I don't know. Let's try.
3, 2, 1.
There's nothing you can do that can be done. No? All you need is love, no? And 2018, I was in love. I thought I was in love. I was in love. 8 years of relationship finished because I gave it for granted. Because I was job, work. So 8 years, like Laura. Done. I overlooked that. And exactly in that moment, I received 2 job offers to go to Asia. Leave London after 4 or 5 years of Connaught Bar. No. Yeah, was it right? No, probably wasn't. Amazing offers, not just another job offer. And so I had to stop and say, okay, I don't take it. Where am I? What do I do now? What did I do so far? Look, young kid in Portofino, running trays, But it wasn't my time yet to leave London. It was time to evolve what I've been doing so far in that moment in time. And I look around me, and again, Ago was on my side, Maura was on the other side. So probably I was a bit up because mentor and Mauro on my side, and I appreciate the value of them. I appreciate what they gave me so far, but was only the beginning. So, not only with the two of them, I decided to invest in people around me, because people are pillars. Invest in them, give them, don't ask them, don't take, always give. Eventually you will give back. It's not you, it's not the reason why you do it, but it is what it is. I'm a bartender, I was a bartender. We realized swiftly that to grow and evolve, we need the secret of our success. We need Laura Grassolini, right there. Laura really helped us to evolve in PR, in marketing, communication, and brought us here to talk in front of you today. We are not everything. We are only what we are able to do and to be. So every person around you is valuable. You can get something. Not really get, again, taking or asking, but really learning, sharing, and eventually, getting a reward. But down the line, what you need is patience. Rome wasn't built in a day, we say, Neither my career, I think I'm still working on it. And it's important to take time to get to certain results, or to don't get. Sometimes we just don't. But patient, don't run. It's never a sprint, always a marathon. In fact, COVID hit, and not many sprints, was a very slow marathon. And digitally, we found a way to keep going. We weren't getting anything. We were just giving for the industry, for ourselves, to keep our motivation alive. Look, here the results all remote. We did digital activities that were relevant to us and to our industry in order to keep believing in it. As we do today, we are out and about again. It turned out quite well, and we got something here and there, but there wasn't at all the end line, no? There wasn't, that's it. No, that's been probably the biggest beginning of our career. Because with this big responsibility, we had to create something completely new for our guests and our industry, but as well for ourselves. So what you need to do after an award, keep training, keep showing up, push hard and harder, because people that expect them from you, and you expect them from you. Healthy, no? Yeah. Take time to rest as well. Explore. I explored different sort of industries, not only bar. You make cocktail for Gucci any other day, or maybe cocktail with Stanley Tucci. Or maybe in a modern art gallery in London, you put your glassware. That's what we did, what I did to bring me forward. And you see me always like this, but as a good martini, there is always a twist, no? It's not always dark and blue and navy. Why not red? Why not blue? And why? Because you have a twist, share it with everyone. We always pay attention to the big CEO, because are the one that give you money, or the ambassador, or the GM of the hotel, the people, thank you, good morning. No, smile at the the pot wash guy. Smile at the people that throw the rubbish, because they made you who you are. They allow you to fulfill your dreams. And what I do, always, I have a lot of fun. Otherwise, I stop. Otherwise, it's boring. It's work. So I'll always find a way to have a lot of fun. And while I have fun, my number one priority is amaze and surprise people. Make them feel amazing. Make them feel unique. While, for example, when I tell Jacob Bryant all the drinks at the corner bar are blue, no? It feels special. And that's what we do, we make people feel celebrities. We are not the celebrities. But sometimes it's important to live experiences that we can share. Like this year I've been to Boca Junior in Argentina to see the Knicks in New York, the final Champions League, just to have an extra story for me to share my emotion. And that gives me a lot. Emotion that I share not only within places, but with people. have heroes. I love to have heroes, idols. Is Sven Vath, very famous DJ. On the other side, Romy, one of my favorite singers. I chase them. In the middle, Omar is a lawyer from Buenos Aires. Not really famous, but for me, is an idol. But moreover, remember, people are mirror, and they do what they see in you. So, straight up with style, and don't forget the smile.
Shots.
What did you think? Ago, that was like pretty amazing.
I told you before.
Did you
Now it makes
practice?
sense.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. No. Oh, what's this year is the first year I visit Tales of the Cocktail since 2009. I missed maybe 2 or 3 editions. And it's the first year that I'm in a seminar room. It's not a cellar. It's not freezing. What's going on?
It's filled with love, that's why.
Yeah.
And love is like a warm hug.
Kate, are we ready? Yes. Bye, Kate.
This is the final speaker. And before we bring Kate to the stage to take us home, I want to say one quick thing about Giorgio, because I didn't have a chance. You know, I love to talk.
Okay.
You know.
No.
I was got to say one thing. I know Giorgio because of the Connaught, because I come there all the time. And thank you, Bacardi, for paying for that every time. But I get to know Giorgio just a little bit more about him every single time I am in the Connaught. He actually, you walk in and you feel like, oh, he's in a suit, is going to be very particular. He's not going to share much. Every time I meet him, he gives me a little something extra. And I feel like I've discovered who you are, that everyone gets the chance to discover who you are, is unbelievable. So.
Kate Boushel is another amazing human being with so much in the plate. I don't know how you do it. Super creative. Yes, you are. You wouldn't be here. You love what you do. You're driven by passion. We can see that. So, Kate is the director of bars and education of, I need the glasses, of Barocco Group. Why are you laughing, Jacob? Even if you pay with company card next time, I don't give discount then.
I was wrong to put them in the second row.
Cocktails.
They should have been at the back, yeah.
Wow. So, Atwater Cocktail Club, Milky Way Cocktail Bar, Bon Délire, that's pronounced correctly?
Bon Delaire.
Delaire, sorry. No, my French is the
En
only
français?
language. Sorry. From Montreal, Canada.
Canada!
Vamos!
So good.
Andiamo.
Let's see. Check, check.
Check. I'm already bawling my eyes out anyways.
It's a piece of fluff, you know.
Giulia broke me. It was absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's going to come up here.
She broke me. She literally broke me. It's fine. I got this, guys. I'm never going to be ready for this. What are you talking about? I know. Okay.
Imagine we're just
I
a
know.
bunch of bitchy customers.
It's the last one.
Tell us how.
No, but now I've been crying and I can't stop crying. We all remember, maybe not everyone, but anyways, I remember me at 50 Best North America. Whoa. Oh, fountain. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes. Hello. In life, be ready to attend 1,000 funerals of your former self, but also 1,000 births of who you're meant to be. I hail from an amazing family of people driven by hospitality without ever having set foot behind a bar or in service. They've always been in service to everyone, opened their house, their hearts, their home. I learned how to make a Bloody Caesar well underage, as well as a martini. My dad hailed from the 3-martini lunch period. And these are my parents, and this is my dad. We also are a very politicized family. He went to university, the first of his family, in political science, and I followed in his footsteps. We are cut from the same cloth. It took us 30 years to get along. I love him so much. We grew up also in a period in Quebec of massive turmoil within our country. I was hated on for being an Anglophone in a small Francophone place. I learned how to welcome even more people, and I never wanted anyone to feel that way. I know for a lot of people here in the US, everyone kind of feels it. I wanted to be Canada's next prime minister. I was gonna be the first female until Kim Campbell, but that was who I wanted to be. And ask anyone in my high school yearbook, that's literally what's still written everywhere. Kate was gonna be prime minister. I was gonna change the world. I would travel the world through Model UNs. Went to university, I did that, political science, right? PR management, that's what I wanted to do. And I would change hearts and minds. How did I put myself through all these travels? Bars and restaurants. My family would even come and see me on like December 24th when I was stuck working with my sister. She was next to me in that picture. She's cut out a little, but they would come and see me, and I loved what I did. Working in a bar and in a restaurant was where I was able to actually exert all of that stuff that my Irish upbringing with my parents brought me into. I was student union president, I was vice president, I was national, federal, whatever, every single aspect that you can think of. I spent 4 years where I removed myself from bars and restaurants to dedicate myself to the first steps in the next portion of my life, which was politics. And I died. I burnt out after 4 years at the ripe age of 26. Who the hell burns out at 26? And I got up and I was like, what am I gonna do? And everyone in my family, PR, fall back on PR. And I did. I went into manage, marketing agencies, and I met who I thought was the love of my life, and moved to San Francisco. And what was a 2-year-long journey to get there ended up being a 3-month-long process after selling everything in my life and moving, displacing, to then come back with my tail so far between my legs. And who picked me up? My dad. And who gave me a next opportunity in my life was an old high school friend, Made with Love. He started this cocktail competition in Canada. And there I would meet the rest of my life, or at least the first or next step in it. I met Lauren. Took a few years before we met face to face, but email first. Met Dave Mitten. My first day, when I turned 30, was when I met Dave Mitten. I met Sam Trudeau during Bombay. I met so many people who showed me and trusted when I decided and turned around and said, I want to step back behind the bar. So many people hated it, and they were like, who are you? Right? This was like 2011, 2012, in a place where people who were already behind the bar really believed that they were meant to be. And I was coming back they didn't know my story. And I just stepped back, and I came in, and I met so many people so far. And I realized that our community, through what we do, We are in link with so many humans that we see and meet every day on the other side of our bar, how we work within our communities, people who own businesses on our same streets, and how we build community. And that was what I was meant to do all along. It was just a different form of community. Like, people like to say, Queen Kate, yeah, Queen of Montreal, yeah. No, you know what? I'm fucking hella president of it. You know, like, I am prime minister in my own right, in my own way. And I will never be the one that needs to cut throats to get to where they need to be. I don't want to be that person. I want to keep elevating everyone. And I think that we managed to do that with our 6 establishments and the number of people we bring behind our bars and the number of people I want everyone in Montreal to meet, or everyone in the world to meet from Montreal. And I want to keep building community in that way. And I realize I'm actually ahead of my thing. Wow. I stand on a mountain of ashes that I keep rebuilding, and I keep becoming a new me. Today, you've officially attended another one of my funerals and rebirths. This was the most difficult thing I've ever done. And thank you, Lauren. And thank you all for witnessing this with me. And apparently, little me knew something about me 25 years later that I didn't already know. Don't worry, it was apple juice in there. I always needed to be like my aunties with a wine glass. Like, don't give me my apple juice in a real glass. But she knew something, how to live. And I reach milestones every year, and this year was a massive one, and top 4 tomorrow. And I just want to keep building with all of you, and I want to thank everyone who has ever played a minuscule, no matter what particle moment in the life of, like Boushel's life of moments of life, whatever it was. But yeah, thank you. But before we all stand up, I appreciate the sentiment. First thing first, Lauren Moat and Ago Perrone. Grazie mille. Merci, mon ange. You're a fucking brain. I love you. You're a mama that we need. You are an inspiration to thousands of bartenders around the world. Giorgio, I'm never going after you ever again. It's the second time. Everyone else, you broke me. I love you. Josh, oh my goodness. Everyone can relate to panic. Belonging. Everyone belongs here. It's amazing. I love you all. That is it.
Give it up for Prime Minister Kate Boushel. And to be fair, you made it. We're only 15 minutes late. 15 minutes late. It was so worth it. It was so worth it. Do you have any rebuttal to that, though? I mean, she said she's not going to come after you anymore. What does that even mean? I mean, I needed an arrival. I go speechless.
No. I said this is PechaKucha. It's not a presenting skills, but it's letting your emotion, letting your journey, your true self coming through. So thank you, Lauren, for initiating this other layer of many people's journey.
Thank you, and thank you to you. Thank you to you, and you've always been a mentor. And also we're friends. We firmly believe when we talk about mentorship, you should be friends with your mentor. They should be people that you chat to on a daily basis. It's not paying for advice. It is life. It is relationship building. And I am so grateful to every single one of you that poured your souls out today and really went for it in a new format you never did before. So I hope that it was invigorating. I hope that it's something that you really loved to participate in as well. And it's not so scary once it's done, right? Now you want to do it again, don't you? Yeah. I think just to wrap up, yes, again, a massive thank you to Ago for coming back this year.
Grazie to you.
And we've purposefully left 2 QR codes on the screen there. Something you may not know about Patrón, other than the fact that it is made by hand, additive free at traditional methods at scale, delicious tequila, is that the Academia Patrón program is the educational ecosystem that really doesn't have much to do with tequila. It has everything to do with you. Everything is about education, about mentorship, about networking, about developing and giving you the tools to become the best person that you want to be in this industry, and you don't do it alone. It's everyone together. The second code is FreePour, which is, again, another digital educational network database of incredible material, from articles to long episodes to education across every topic you could possibly imagine, led by the bartenders that all of us love to hear from. So definitely stay in touch with us there. Massive thank you to the Royal Sonesta Hotel and also to Tales of the Cocktail for helping us put this on today. And a big thank you to Nathan and Mike behind the bar back there, and also More Corral. We've got some great brand ambassadors in the room. I hope you get a chance to meet them. We've got Mike, Matt, and Jason from Team Canada. And also, Gianluca, you had one job and you killed it. Thank you. And last but certainly not least, there are some pretty glued eyes right here. Everybody that took time out of their day to be here today and to listen to these stories, thank you so much, because it takes a village. It takes a village to make change, and every single, Mass is here, look at that. And every single person in this room is part of that change. So come and talk to us. Don't be afraid to go up to people that you think are cool, and be a nice person. Be their friend. What's the last word, Ago?
Straight up with style.
Enjoy your week at Tales, everyone.